deal of great information on membership, along with our Rotary International Zone Assistant Coordinator for Member Engagement, Demetress Harrell. Particularly excited to have her on board. Lori Fickling, I do want to give her credit for, you'll be seeing some of her virtual, this is the first time ever creating a virtual red badge and a virtual membership certificate. So you will be seeing all those later. I want to thank all of you who are signing on, all of you who have signed on and are going to be participating in this ever membership Zoom meeting. I would venture a guess that some of you that are on this call, this may be your one of your very first meetings. How many meetings have you attended, Zoom meetings, over the last 2 weeks compared to the last 2 years? I said in an earlier meeting today, I've sat in on 4 of these meetings so far today. This is the 5th. And I don't remember sitting in on 5 Zoom meetings over the last 5 months. So, you know, we're all getting used to it. We had a meeting last Monday. Had about 100 people that showed up to learn how to Zoom. John and others did a fantastic job in teaching that. And I just want to let everybody know that that meeting, and as will this meeting, will be on the district website when you finish. John will put it up. So if you know some people who weren't able to attend the meeting tonight, they will have an opportunity to see it. Just go to the district website. We'll send a link out. Actually, I sent a link out yesterday and in an email. I am going to introduce our panel, and they're going to visit with us about membership and show some interesting slides and give you some really fantastic ideas. But first, when I went around to everybody's club, one of the things I talked about was engagement and how important engagement was in the quest for getting new members and then keeping those members. We can't keep members. I think we all know how important it is to make sure that every new member, every single member in our club needs to become engaged, or else they might get tired, weary, and then leave. So it's a very important component. Our first panelist, Demetress Harrell, joined Rotary in 1998 after the generous support of PDG Joe Bird. It was his rich love for Rotary and his impressive celebration for membership that cultivated her passion for Rotary as well. And one of her favorite quotes is, "A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus." That's by Dr. Martin Luther King. And I think that we all fall into that category. And after Demetress will be our past district governor and membership chair, Larry Petrosh. Larry, I don't have an official bio from you, but from what I know and what you told me, you joined Rotary a long, long time ago. You're a past district governor, district membership chair currently, and you're also the reason that I became assistant governor, and I'll either credit you or blame you for the fact that I'm a district governor right now. Demetress, would you take it away, please?
Thank you so very much, past District Governor Larry, for your work, and District Governor Peter Scott for your warm invitation, and to all of the wonderful Rotarians throughout the district of 5790. We praise your work, and we are truly fortunate to have you among us tonight. I want to talk about the superpower that each one of you all have and possess, but how you can utilize that superpower in the cultivation of membership. I want to make sure that everyone has their device muted. So as we're flying through to gain these superpowers, we don't miss an opportunity to embrace membership and grow through the district. The wonder powers of Rotary membership. As was mentioned a moment ago, I joined Rotary because I was asked. So oftentimes we miss that great power that we have to impact members through an innovative process. And so I hope that this presentation tonight will not only rock membership out of space, but be a global area on how we can impact one project at a time. However, without members, we cannot grow, or give, nor generate the positive movement required in Rotary International. So join us tonight, part of me, the Wonder Woman that is creative, that was flying through the district, and be a part of what we have seen in 5910 as my Rotary district. So here you see characters. And through those characters, you have identified what your superpower is or who your superhero is. And that should be an individual wearing a Rotary badge. But let's look at our learning objectives for tonight. The first objective is learn effective ways to evaluate and brand your leadership in your club. You know, a brand is something that we wear proudly, but it distinguishes us from any other place, any other person. And we as Rotarians are distinguished in a mighty way in the way that we serve our community. Just like Walmart, they have a brand, maybe on that toilet tissue, but we also know that Target has a brand. But we want to be effective in branding our club in how we connect with our community. We also are going to talk about appraising your club's current membership and assessing the club health, understand the core values of the club health check and tool, develop methods to attract and engage new members, also establish measurable ambitions. Where do you want to be this Rotary year? While we also identify the 5 key memberships of different recruitment models and diversified club models. So when we think about effective ways to brand, looking at our next slide, we have to say that each one of us had to do a self-assessment. Even tonight, how is your health from the standpoint of Rotary? Well, as we are going through an unprecedented time and chartering different water, the way that we are doing Rotary today is different than the way we have done it over the years. We have not had near the amount of Zoom meetings, but now we are connecting through technology and a digital age, but that is extremely important to develop those tools in the event that you need a contingency plan. So just like a doctor's visit helps us to identify the risks of a horrific diagnosis, and many clubs right now are in the red because they have not done their full assessment. But we must assess members, and we must assess our club and provide them with the right prescribed injection for the quality of health so that the world will continue to go round with Rotarians. One of the core values of the health check is to make sure that everyone participates in that check. We want to assess every single member. Don't allow that to just be your directors or your officers, because oftentimes we miss Betty, who's sitting in the back of the room, coming to every meeting, but we've never got her engaged and involved. We've never asked her a strategic question as to why do you like the experience? Behaviors exist, and making sure that if they're negative, we turn those into positive outcomes. So we want to have a dying club. You know, I work in hospice, end of life care field, and I've been with our organization for 26 years. But the reason why people choose my hospice over many other hospices, not because we're nonprofit, because we have integrity. That is part of our motto. So we have to make sure that our health of our Rotary Club has that same level of integrity that will encourage people to be parts of what we do in our community. Next slide. In that health assessment, we have to look at things like, is the food that is served at the Rotary Club healthy? Is it something that we want to pay for? Is because it's not just about a program and lunch. It's about the network. What are the relationships? What is the attitude and the mental health? Is it an active club? Is it a dying club? Is it an optimistic club? Is it a club that's focused on wellness? Do you focus on youth? Do you focus on seniors? Is your club dedicated to a specific cause among nonprofits? Making sure that you advance the opportunities within your club through the health check. Next.
Guys, it's Belinda. That feedback, I believe because somebody has their computer on.
I believe someone may have two devices going, the reason why we have feedback, but we should be able to mute.
Yeah, we probably should ask everybody to mute themselves. I think that would really be called for. We're getting an awful lot of interference.
I was
Everyone
muted,
could
and then
go
I
to
was
the lower
asked to
left
unmute.
of the screen. If everyone could go to the lower left of the screen and please click mute and see until the red. Thank you very much.
There you
We
go.
appreciate that. This is one of our first meetings, and we'll get through this.
Yes. And that's another superpower, is that we have achieved greatness by doing something that is first. And that is something that you will achieve this evening. The other thing is, when you're taking into consideration diversification and health checks of your club, what is your club lacking? Are there types of members that you have not been able to get in your club because they've just not been asked? You know, I asked a doctor one time, why are you not in Rotary? Because it looks like you have flexibility in your schedule. He said, no one ever asked. Sometimes we assume because the medical professional might have a 8 to 5. Someone muted me. So
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
You're back.
All right. So we have to make sure that we look at every individual as a potential member of Rotary. We often miss the very essential element, and that is to ask. And so we want to make sure that one of the exercises that you do in your club is share Rotary stories. Take a one sentence and make sure that it gives some type of exhilaration to embrace what Rotary means to you. But it's all about because someone asked. And so women are oftentimes limited in clubs, not because they have not been asked, but because maybe we have not embraced the opportunity to get more people in our organization. So remember, it's because you ask. Also, applying ambitions. Where do you want to be in your club? As an individual, we want to make sure that people have an opportunity to be officers, directors, and even like you, District Governor Peter, someone asks, someone yields the call. And so as Rotarians, we must recognize the value and clearly identify the principles of quality. Rotary brings so much to us day and night. It strengthens us, it encourages us, it increases our ethical behavior, and it is about the integrity for all concerned. Membership matters. You may ask, why, Demetress, have you been a Rotarian for 22 years? Has it been difficult in the work that you do? Well, we have to know that Rotary also has flexibility. And we have to know that there are reasons why. And these are some of the advancing opportunities that afford me the opportunity to be a Rotarian and make me stay as a great Rotarian. One, the opportunities for service. It is extremely important that I know that our Rotary Club is helping others. Service above self, meeting the needs of our community. Support and sponsor different types of clubs. Again, we want to encourage everyone to mute. We're getting a little bit of background. But one of the greatest things is training youth to become a part of the fellowship of Rotary. We do that first by looking at our Interact. Our club has an Interact Club, and we have had that for a long time. And when I have been the president, which I have served as president twice of my club, I was encouraged by the work that they were doing, but I wanted to show them that I too supported them by participating. I always love to see Rotaract, and now that is another model of clubs that we have for Rotary. But one of my greatest achievements, I would say, throughout my time as a Rotarian has been participating in RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. That is something that leaves you with a passion for life to see these young people. The second thing is the quality of the project. You know, people want to be involved in something that makes a difference. We don't want to do the same thing over and over, and it never has an impact. It never has a value. So look for quality projects within your community and within your Rotary Club. Social activities. There is more to Rotary than just a 12 o'clock meeting. And so making sure that you have a little bit of equivalence that meets the needs of everyone, especially if you have a diverse age group of a club. Join in fellowship and host those socials. Hold leadership trainings. You know, it's important that we gain an understanding of what Rotary really means, and all of the information that is behind the scenes of Rotary International needs to be a part of the training module. We need to encourage everyone to have a My Rotary profile so that they are a part of the bigger part of Rotary, and that is Rotary International. You know, I always believe that it's important for us to see the global spectrum of Rotary. And so being a part of Rotary International, then our district club meetings, down to our local club, it has various branches. So hold leadership trainings, and then build membership around like-minded leaders, people that are about change. The 5 key essentials is what you want to have in your club, and to evaluate the health of that is 1, becoming a vibrant club. You know, a vibrant club has an array of colors, and the wheel of Rotary is continuing to roll. It is not just a singular, it is a plural. The other part is build your vision for what you do to empower each member. Every member counts. Develop a strategic plan, a 3-year plan. Where do you want to be in terms of 3 years? Would you like to see membership grow by the types of vocation? Would you like to see members grow by the types of sex? What do you want to see in your club? Build that vision and develop and write that in your strategic plan. One of the things that we saw we were missing in our district, in our strategic plan, is we really didn't have a vision as to how we would take on some of the avenues of the leadership in the district. Who would be the district membership chair? Who would be training for that role and position? So we have to look at it from a greater perspective of who are those members in our clubs that we are ready to transition. And so we have to be mentors and models for them. Assess the demographics. Where are areas in the vicinities of our clubs that we have not reached out to? Are there specific neighborhoods? Are you seeing a lot of growth of new neighborhoods in your community? Are new types of businesses? We have to make sure that we involve them, and they can be a great resource. So use those resources. Now let's look at the development of strategies for growing your club. Once you have evaluated your club from the top to the bottom, the years of service of your club and the individuals in your club, it is time to put together a creative vision for your club. Next year, who would your members be? What are their roles and their capacity? Attracting new members requires being a part of a club that has vibrancy. What does it look like to the outside public? Engaging members. Again, I said, if that member is always sat at the back table, drank from the same cup, have you invited them and engaged them to change into new things that are going on within your club? It requires sometimes reusing members that have been in the past leadership to mentor those new members that have been in the club. You know, sometimes we feel like because the person has always done the same thing and they're getting to do the same thing, that that's all they want to do. But sometimes it just requires a partnership to ask. We also want to support your club using the resources and tools from Rotary International. But the great thing about this district, District 5790, you have all of those avenues right there on your district website. So take time to utilize those resources and plan a membership planned worksheet. We're going to talk about that with some of the new members. What is that membership worksheet going to look like? What are some of the things that we will foster to create the vision for innovation for that new member? Those are the strategies of developing your plan for growth. So we want to call all of our superheroes tonight, the Rotarians that are on the line, that will share this information and not hold it hostage. We want to diversify Rotary and grow it throughout the district. So let's look at the different types of models for club membership. You know, in 1905, when Paul Harris was joined together with his friends, it was all about the business mind of growing their leadership. But they started that traditional Rotary. That was the 12 o'clock noon hour, sit down at lunch and enjoy what each other were doing within their businesses and in their communities. But now we are very creative in Rotary. We would not have 1.2 Rotarians, what we seem to always say we have, if we were not diversifying Rotary. It is not just in the United States, it grows and it goes across the land. The first type of club that we have, and most of us have been a part of for most of our Rotarian life, is the traditional Rotary Club. This is professionals aspiring to grow leaders and meet on a regular basis to connect and have some personal growth. But today we're seeing a tremendous growth in satellite clubs. Now, the satellite club is sponsored through the traditional club. So that does not mean that you're going to lose members when you add a satellite club. We are about growing Rotarians and not just about staying stagnant as clubs. The satellite club is a Rotary club that is sponsored by a traditional club, but it has its own meetings and projects and bylaws and boards. And I will say that they are taking off like lightning. They are some superheroes. Then we have the E-Club, something like we're doing tonight. We are meeting by technology across the internet, and it is primarily a club that is online. But the one great thing, it does not limit the member being in one vicinity, one demographic area. We could have Rotarians from one country to the other as a part of our E-Club. The Passport Club. Now, most of us love to travel. I spoke at the International Convention in Toronto, and I enjoyed meeting people from around the land. The Rotary Club that has that membership model of the Passport Club allows members to attend Rotary Club meetings as long as they attend a specific number of meetings a year on their own. So I can not only just be a part of Rotary in East Texas, but I can go to any other club as long as I acknowledge and represent that I am part of the Passport Club. The Corporate Club is a club who most of their members and most of them work for the same employer. We are talking about that a lot with a lot of different table talks, a lot of specialized clubs like Toastmaster, converting those into Rotary clubs. If you think about all of our oil and gas industries, those could be corporate memberships, especially also healthcare. Recently, when we had an opportunity to be in Kansas City, we heard about the cause-based initiative that those members were making become a reality. It had not had its first meeting, but they had already got everything passed through Rotary International, and they now have a veterans cause-based club. It is not specific to just veterans, but anyone that has an association in working with the VA, they can be a part of that cause base. So never limit yourself. Rotary has many possibilities. That is one who is passionate about a particular cause. An alumni-based club is those that formerly were Rotary or in the foundation with specific participation in projects and programs. So another great avenue for people that want to participate in Rotary outside of their club. And then now we have this great thing that we've always had in our colleges. Rotaract is now a part of Rotary through the way they work in fellowship. So a club that members are younger, 18 through 30, and it's sponsored by a Rotary club, but they work primarily on club avenues of projects, and most of them are usually still attaining their college education. So you see, when we assess Rotary, we know that it has many avenues, many resources, and many opportunities. So take a fresh approach in creating a meaningful club experience by knowing that you can stay engaged and be a part of making a difference to grow Rotary beyond 1.2 million Rotarians across the world. Now we just have to ask you to do one thing, and that is take action. Develop your story and know that you tomorrow will welcome new superheroes to the land of Rotary.
Demetress, I'm glad you added that, because without all of the wonderful message that you had, without taking action, what would it be worth? Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll hear from you in just a few minutes during our induction ceremony. But now onto our membership chair, Larry. Take it away, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. First of all, let me say to every one of you out there, thank you for being here tonight, and I appreciate your participation. I think I've died and gone to heaven because I've got an opportunity here to speak to almost 100 people and get across a message that I've been trying to get across for a long time by going to individual meetings with individual clubs. So this is a good opportunity for me, and I hope you find it to be a great opportunity for you tonight. I want to start off with saying, you know, how does Rotary inspire and connect the world? You know, those were our themes the last couple of years, or you know, to include this year. You know, how do we do that? Well, we're people of action, and people of action is something that we've, you know, that's not just a figure of speech. It's a real defining phrase of what Rotary is supposed to be about. We do so by the actions in our communities. Just think about those things in your community and in the world that wouldn't be there if it weren't for Rotarians. Polio Plus, you know, and also keep in mind that as I speak, you know, these things are also excellent examples of engagement and people empowering themselves and others to accomplish and make a difference in the world. So Polio Plus is an excellent example. Rotary parks are notorious in communities, kids with backpacks, community gardens, water and sanitation, just a few examples that are funded by our grants and through the foundation with district grants and global grants. Well, it takes people to put them there. Inspirational leadership, leadership with a purpose for people that are committed and want to do the work of Rotary. That's how we connect the world. Rotary cannot exist without a continuous effort in membership. Membership recruiting and retention is everybody's business. Recruiting, sales, and marketing, that's you know, really the effort. Retention, you know, the key there is you know, keeping people in the clubs once we get them there. But the key sales thing that I want to impress in, and Demetress said it earlier tonight too, and that is we have to ask people to join Rotary. You're not going to get anything in this life or much of anything in this life if you don't ask for it. So, you know, that's one of the things that we don't do enough. I've been in sales just about all my career. And I can tell you that If you were timid and shy and didn't ask for the business, you would not make a good living, and probably would not be successful in sales. It's everybody's business. Nothing happens until something is sold. It's the lifeblood of all businesses. Our sales acquisition product is new members and serving our membership so that we retain them. Ever since I've been in Rotary, we've had 1.2 million members. Think about it. Those of you that have been 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I joined Rotary in 1978. So I can tell you that I can't recall a time when we didn't talk about 1.2 million members. Well, that really doesn't say that we're, it does say one thing: we're not growing. Rotary Worldwide is not growing. Unfortunately, it's in decline in the United States, but it is growing in India and Asia. We want to turn that around. We want to be where we can, talk about growth in the United States once again. So we need to change some things. And you know the old saying about insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, we've got to do something different. And I'm here to suggest to you tonight some of the things that we can do that's different. Yogi Berra coined the phrase, if you don't know where you're going, chances are you'll end up someplace else. So really the bottom line there is what did you plan to do? Or when you've been in your club, have you set forth a plan? Did you think about it? Did you work membership and recruiting in earnest, or was it a passive type thing that just kind of happened and we just gained people, onesies and twosies, and over the course of a year, maybe we'd be +1, maybe we'd be -1, but we really weren't making a concerted effort to grow. Well, what I'm suggesting tonight is that we turn that around and we make that concerted effort to grow. Membership is a process. It's not something that, it's not an event that takes place. You don't have a meeting one day and say, okay, today is a membership day. We're going to go out and, go recruit. Although you can use that, but, it's an ongoing process that we have to be constantly thinking about acquiring new members and keeping the ones that we have. So it's time to join Rotary and get the Rotary is a international membership organization made up of people who share a passion and commitment to enhancing communities and improving lives across the globe. Nothing says engagement better than that. And that's what we need to be focused on. And engagement is such an emphasis because engagement is the key to retention in your clubs. You get, I hear stories all the time. People come in as new people. They stay there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Nobody even so much as says hello to them. And I'm talking about now just various clubs across the zone and places where I've been. And then what happens to those people? Those people stay 3 or 4 weeks and they leave. So conversely, if that person is engaged and we take him by the hand a little bit and lead and give him and nurture him a little bit and give him a sense of direction and start his learning process, then the likelihood is that we will keep him. On a broader scale, we talk about marketing. And now we're talking about marketing, and this is what we have to consider about what we're doing and what that, a while ago I said I'm going to suggest something that's different than what we've been doing. Marketing. Well, that doesn't sound different because marketing has been around obviously for a long, long time. But marketing, is really not and think about it in your own club. Do you really use marketing in your club? And I would suggest to you that you probably don't. Again, it gets back to what I said earlier. We take more of a passive role, and we're really not taking an earnest and making an earnest effort to actually reach out. So what's marketing? And I've got it defined there on the screen, the activity and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value, club partners and society at large. It's the whole ball of wax from stem to stern. How do you get your business and in the door, and how do you keep your business in the door and make a profit? So that's the customer orientation that we see there, the service orientation. You got to service what you have. Members are not any different. You bring in a new member, you got to provide service to that person to get him to start learning so that he can anchor down and become part of the Rotary Club and make him feel like, or her, make him or her feel like that they are part of the club. And of course, the profit orientation is a greater number of members. So what is our market? Well, our market, and over to my left there on the screen, is people with unsatisfied needs and wants who have both the resources and the willingness to buy. People ask me all the time, who's an ideal prospect? I would only add to that statement and say those people that have discretionary time. That's something that we need to look at and make sure that when we recruit somebody, that they have discretionary time. If they don't, there's a good chance that that person may or may not stay in Rotary because he's got external pressures. So Rotary has always been an organization that brought in people that had discretionary time to be able to provide service and want to stay in Rotary. So who are our prospects? Prospects are made up of people who just want to serve or give back to their communities. The younger generations of today, that really defines who they are and what they want to do. They want to give back to their communities. So, and that bespeaks projects. So, and projects bespeaks grants and district grants specifically, so that we can give back to the communities in a great way. And I enumerated a number of them a while ago in my introductory remarks. We already have, we're lucky from a marketing standpoint because we already have motivated buyers. We just need to find them by asking qualified prospects, to join. So, increasing membership plus retaining membership, we already have growth. If you retain members, acquisition will take care of itself. And if you just retain the members, we'll have growth by that, because we don't have an acquisition problem in Rotary. We have a retention problem in Rotary. So that's the aspect that we've really got to be focused on. So what do we do different here? I've labeled it behavior modification. Behavior modification is that we don't sit back and let membership kind of develop on its own. Sometimes we'll bring somebody in and maybe we won't. At the end of the year, we've got +1 or +2. What I want to do and suggest to you is that we market, we get the word out, and we start promoting and making a concerted effort. And the big capital letters ask is absolutely crucial to the procedure. So basically what we've got to be thinking about in terms of membership is we've got to start thinking about marketing and making the most out of that aspect of it. So promotion, and there's something in marketing called the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. Well, look at Rotary. Look at your club. We've got a product. I think that's, it's going on over 100 years old now. We've got the product. Price, I think the price is fair and reasonable. I think we got a good price for Rotary. A place, it varies from club to club, but generally all of the places are great, and people are feel like they belong and want to go and have dinner or lunch at a specific restaurant where you meet in the club. So really the thing that we haven't been doing much and that we really need to be focused on is the promotion mix. And promotion mix is a combination of the advertising and personal selling and the promotion and public relations. So, you know, we talk about all of this. You know, there's a lot of things that we can do that we can promote Rotary in our clubs, and it's things that we don't do. Number one, you know, one thing that we can do is certainly, you know, you know, I've said it several times, ask more people. Secondly, talk up Rotary in your communities. You know, talk to people around and you know, talk to your associates and business partners and people, you know, that you know, your neighbors and whatever. Ask everybody, because you never know. Because Demetress said it a while ago too, when she said that, you know, why didn't you join Rotary sooner? Well, nobody asked me. I've heard that over and over and over. So the other thing we can do is billboard advertising. Billboards, the companies, you know, will give discounts to nonprofit organizations like Rotary. I know that they will do that because I've done it. And you can get, you know, you know, it may cost you, you know, $800–900, you know, for a period of time, and you can get 6 to 10 billboards set up for that around town, and it advertises, you know, Rotary, and people pass those signs, and they, you know, will think about it. Secondly, or not secondly, but additionally, you know, wearing club shirts. You know, I've seen a lot of clubs do that. It's very popular. Yeah, it costs a little bit of money to get a shirt, but if you talk to these retailers, they'll give you a discount on the shirts, and put your club name on it. And then, you know, one day, you know, just take your shirt out, and on any given day, wear your shirt out in public, whether it's to the office or wherever it may be that day. Wear it out and about, and have everybody in the club do that, you know, as often as they feel comfortable to do that. Think about what 30 members would do with that many shirts going independently, onesies and twosies over a period of a month. Look at how much selling, look how much promotion that we would give Rotary, and invariably somebody's going to come up and ask you. Public relations, you know, we've got to get our articles into the newspapers, and we've got to let people know what we're doing. You know, absolute. So, you know, we get down, next slide, please. So we get into what's called the trilogy continuum. And this is where the importance of the membership chair comes in, but really the importance of the foundation chair and public image chair. This wheel shows that this is a revolving, you know, type of a scenario. You know, getting members in the door. The more members you have, the more they're going to contribute to the foundation. The more money that we put into the foundation, the more we get back for grants, and we do our projects. And now we give birth to the public image part of it, where we get word out into the community and advertise and publicize what it is that we're doing. I can't say enough about learning about Rotary. The more you learn, the more you know. You know, you've got to know before you can do. So the more you learn about Rotary, the more you're going to want to be engaged in it, and the more you're going to entice other people to become engaged in it. We've got to communicate with our public, and then we've got to coordinate. We need to make sure that these people in your club, the membership chair, the public image chair, and the foundation chair, are communicating with each other to make the cycle go around. And you know, these people will make engagement happen just by definition in their jobs and responsibilities. But you've got to work together as a team. So in conclusion, we're talking about membership recruiting and engagement and retention is an ongoing continuous process. It's not a crash program to boost numbers. To assure an organization's viability, membership retention should not fall under crisis management, but must be an ongoing and methodical activity throughout the life of the club. And this is the one statement that I would like for you to take home with you tonight and keep it handy. Members who are welcomed, engaged, or involved, informed, and recognized, and who perceive the organization as benefiting them will not only continue as members, but will want to share the experience with friends and business acquaintances. I can't say it in a nutshell any better than that. And I guarantee you something that we don't do enough of in our clubs is recognizing our people that are doing things on a day-to-day basis. And sometimes people go by years without their names even being mentioned in the way of thanks. The service above self, is sacrificing, but it doesn't mean that you let your club dissipate because you didn't recognize some of your people. So, do that, and I encourage that all the time. And the more you recognize, the more they'll appreciate it and the more they'll say. So in a nutshell, new members and engagement will cause members to retain. So what you allow in your club, what you do in your club with your membership plan, an overt aggressive action in terms of membership, what you allow is what will continue in your club. So be that voice of change and do the things, and I suggest doing those things, and I think you'll see great turnaround and how many members that you put in your club in a year's time.
Larry, thank you very much. Appreciate that, those good words. A lot of good information there on gaining new members and retaining members. By the way, this, as I mentioned before, this will be up on district website just as soon as John can get it put up. I'm not sure if it'll be tonight or in the morning, but we'll let you know when it'll be up. Now we come to the e-induction. I am not aware, I've looked everywhere, I'm not aware of any other district having done this for regular clubs. Obviously e-clubs have done this before, but regular clubs, traditional clubs have never done this. So we're going to induct 2 members today from 2 different clubs. First, from Cross Timbers Rotary Club, Gordon Welch will be inducted. And from the Champions Rotary Club, Alex Koss will be inducted. We'll be inducting them both at the same time. And I believe Lori has created new red badges for each of them, which I'm sure they'll get a genuine red badge at their own club meeting when they're inducted at their club, and also a certificate of membership for each. I've asked Demetress to go ahead, and she has a wonderful induction ceremony prepared for us. Demetress, would you please conduct the induction ceremony for these 2?
Thank you. And what a pleasure and a wonderful way to end our night. New members, tonight we are privileged to induct you into the World Fellowship of Rotary. You will join the more than 1.2 million Rotarians around the world to foster the core elements of Rotary defined by the 4-way test. I charge you to judge yourself by the Rotary 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. As a representative of Rotary International, the Assistant Rotary Coordinator, I am honored to acknowledge you as new Rotarians. To the membership and Rotary Club of Cross Timber and the Champions Rotary Club, both in the wonderful district of 5790. You have been selected by the members of this club because you exhibit the leadership qualities in your vocation and because you demonstrate the attributes of service above self. New Rotarian inductees, Gordon Welch of the Rotary Club of Cross Timbers and Chief Alex Koss of the Rotary Club of Champions. You have both been elected to the membership in these clubs because your fellowship and your fellow Rotary members believe you are worthy and exemplify the representation that possesses quality that will permit and exemplify the spirit of Rotary in your public, your business, your social and personal lives. I wish to impress upon you that you be admitted into these Rotary clubs, Cross Timbers and Champions Rotary, but not just there, but to the worldwide affiliation and association of Rotary worldwide. And by virtue of your membership in these clubs, you will be welcomed into the fellowship of Rotary around the world. We are all honored and privileged to have you as Rotary members and your Rotary membership carries the duties and obligation. And these duties and obligations are that you will be expected to attend your club meetings regularly, to participate in the performance of club service, and to place your knowledge as well as your talents at the disposal of the club in the task of carrying out the principles of Rotary into the daily lives of the community. We know that you will display high ethical standards and principles of Rotary, and therefore the community will know and judge you by your actions. You have been chosen to the membership because we are confident that your image and ideas in Rotary are safe for our keeping and yours. All Rotarians on this call tonight, would you please unmute your phones as you hear and submit to the charge of these inductees? To your sponsors, we thank you and we appreciate you standing beside these two distinguished inductees.
I'll be through in just a minute.
Rotarians of prospective clubs of District 5790, will you accept this charge as we tonight say to our two new members, we ask you this question: will you accept the charge to be the newest members of these clubs in the District of 5790, Cross Timbers and Champions? If so, would you please say, I do?
I do.
I do.
I do.
And fellow Rotarians of the district, would you please welcome them into your fellowship of Rotary by saying, I will?
I will.
I will.
On behalf of Rotary International, it is my great pleasure to welcome you as fellow Rotarians into the Rotary family, and I extend to you sincere congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, now we have Alex here. Alex, would you, when I stop talking, can you say a couple words?
Sure. I'm very happy to be here. I'm thrilled that I was accepted into the group. I hope that I can, live up to the expectations.
Great. Alex, thank you
How
so much.
about Gordon? Gordon, are you on?
I am on. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you fine.
Okay. This is in my hand, and I know y'all can't see them, but I have 9 pins. I'm wearing a lapel pin and a tie pin from my father, who passed away last year in May, who is a district governor and a past president of Rotary Club up in Illinois. So I know my dad's looking down on me, probably laughing that this is how I got in after all the years that he's talked to me about being a part of Rotary. So this is kind of, it's really strange. I got butterflies, but I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to try and carry on what he started for Rotary as a family member, and maybe convince my son and grandson one day to do the same thing.
Welcome.
Congratulations to both of you. John,
Congratulations.
I believe that Ginger Eads and
Congratulations,
Justin
Alex.
Lansdowne had a couple of words that they
Hello,
wanted to say.
District 5790, Ginger Eads, president of the Cross Timbers Rotary Club. And Gordon, I just want to say welcome to the family. Welcome to Cross Timbers Rotary. Welcome to the larger family of District 5790. And I'm just so excited that you did something new and different tonight, and that you agreed to this e-induction. I think it's wonderful. I think it could be a precedent for our future, and we're so excited to have you as part of our club, and we can't wait to see you in person.
Awesome. Justin?
Yeah, and
Justin?
Cross Timbers, thank you for initiating the idea and letting us participate in inducting a new member to our club as well. Chief Koss, Champions Rotary is extremely excited to have you as a part of our club, and we look forward to having a chief of police in our club and making us one of the safest clubs around. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations to both of your clubs and to the new inductees and to all of us for really breaking new ground on this. I appreciate your bringing these two people to us really in record time. Thank you. I know that was a very big effort. I can't get the words out. Larry, I wanted to call on you. I think you had some really encouraging numbers
Yes.
to give us before I give my closing comments. Are you there, Larry? There
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Peter. You know, to make one other statement as appropriate to this occasion now, you know, it's no longer about how many members you have in your club. It's really about how much growth did you have in your club. Well, what I'm about to do is give some kudos to some clubs that have really shown, you know, what their efforts are in terms of recruiting and retention of members. These people are the top three. You know, Rotary keeps tally on the number of members. We keep tally in the district and in Rotary International. Keep a tally on the number of members that you have during the year, during the Rotary year. So to date, the following clubs are number 1, 2, and 3, respectively, in the in our district in terms of new members. The first one is the E Club District 5790 International, which is really a newer club, but they brought in 31 new members since July the 1st of 2019. The second one is Mineral Wells. I'm sorry. The second one is Trophy Club with 11 new members since July the 1st of 2019, and Mineral Wells with 10 new members since 7/1/19. So many kudos to those three clubs. Honorable mention goes to Kennedale with 5 new members, Wichita Falls Southwest with 4 new members, Cross Timbers, who would have guessed, Cross Timbers and Champions, both installing members tonight with 3 new members, and then the Arlington Club with 3 new members. So there's a lot of activity going on, and congratulations to these clubs on a job well done to date. Keep up the good work. Peter?
Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate that. I hope that these numbers, I hope the installation of new members, I hope this whole evening will inspire all of us to, in spite of everything that's going on in the world right now, despite the fact that we're all hunkered down at home, and you know, I've seen some of us have some great beverages that we've been drinking during the meeting. I think that's great, but you know,
Water.
I thought water, yeah, water. Yeah, I'm gonna have something else in just a couple of minutes, as most of you will. But you know, I thought a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know, we don't know how long this is going to last. This is probably going to go on for a little while. You know, we got to finish out the year. We need to keep our clubs strong. We need to keep engaged. We need to remain viable in our neighborhoods, in our communities. And you know, we need to continue business as usual as best we can. Why can't we electronically induct? Why couldn't we do an e-induction? Well, we did it tonight. Thank you all for participating in that. And I know that going forward, we have now we're having more Zoom meetings. Individual clubs are having more Zoom meetings. We did it tonight. You can continue to do that for the rest of the year, or for however long that you intend to have these Zoom meetings. We can become stronger as clubs. You can go out in your communities as we have before, and there are members in your communities who want to serve the communities that are not yet Rotarians. Find them, invite them to your Zoom meeting, invite them to work on the new projects where you're helping COVID victims or whatever it is that you're doing. Lots of great examples have come out. So just continue the effort. We can all finish out this year strong. I don't care what's going on in the world. We're Rotarians, and we can do it. We're strong, and we have what it takes. Thank you for the new members. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I think we went over 100 once. I want to apologize to some people who weren't able to join us tonight. Apparently, in the email that I sent out this morning, somewhere below in the email I sent out actually yesterday, I suggested that we send out a link. Well, I didn't send out another link after the email today. Some people were not able to sign on, but We are going to have this, again, we're going to have this on the website. I'm going to let everybody know so they can see it. I want to thank everyone. Y'all have a good night. Please contact us if you need anything. Your district is your customer service department. Thank you all and good night.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night, Peter.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Cheers.
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 Good night, John Boy.
Thanks,
I knew
Peter.
somebody would say it.
Yay.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Great meeting.
Thanks. Congratulations. Signing off.
Congratulations.
Say, John,
Good night.
Yeah.
got a question. I saw two sets of numbers. One that was people that were participants, and then there was one on chat.
Yeah.
Are those included in the participants, or is
Yeah.
that a separate number?
No, if you were chatting, you had to be a participant in the chat.
Set,
Not everybody was participating, was chatting.
yeah. Anyway, we had it was a great participation tonight.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, we had just about almost as many as we had the other day. So that's wonderful. I'm glad to see that turnout.
Well, thank you all so very much, and I'll look forward to speaking with you again soon. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week of Rotary. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Demetress, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
bet.
John or Larry, are you still there?
Yes,
Well, yeah, I'm
here.
almost. Go ahead.
This is Jessica from Kennedale, and I want you to see this number